as I was.
Can a dolphin really harm its trainer? Did a dolphin truly attack Jessica, the same dolphin that had been loved since childhood, trained, played with, and admired as a symbol of affection between humans and animals? If one day that same dolphin injures the very person who raised it, does it mean the bond is broken? Or is there a deeper story hidden behind the tragedy? To uncover the truth, watch this story until the end. This is the story of Jessica, a beautiful and intelligent dolphin who spent the first years of her life in the freedom of the open sea. She swam joyfully in the blue waters, traveled long distances with her mother, and treated every day as an adventure. Jessica was curious and playful from the very beginning. Sometimes she chased schools of fish. Other times, she leapt out of the waves to see the world above. The ocean was her home, and freedom was her breath. But one day, that freedom was shattered. In the early morning, as the sun's first rays touched the water, large boats appeared on the horizon. These were not ordinary fishing vessels. They carried heavy nets designed not for fish, but for dolphins. Jessica swam alongside her mother when suddenly a strange sound echoed underwater, the roaring engines of men. Jessica grew frightened, but her mother signaled her to stay close. Within moments, nets surrounded them. Jessica's mother fought desperately, thrashing to break free, but the trap was too strong. Jessica watched in terror as her mother was caught, powerless to help. That day marked the end of her life in the wild. In captivity, Jessica became the star of aquatic shows. Under the care of her trainer, Alea, she learned to leap through hoops, balance balls, and perform tricks that amazed audiences. At first, she seemed playful and energetic, but as time passed, Alea noticed changes. Jessica was no longer as sharp or enthusiastic. Where she once touched the ball in a single jump, she now needed several attempts. Alea told herself it was just fatigue, but deep down, a shadow of worry grew. 3 days before a major show, Jessica did something unusual. Instead of swimming through the ring when signaled, she swam to a corner and remained still. She looked at Alea with eyes Alea had never seen before. No playful spark, no joy. It was as if Jessica was silently saying, "I am not happy." Alea gave her rest, canceling the day's training, but the strange behavior continued. The next day, when Alea reached to gently touch Jessica in the water, Jessica pulled away for the first time ever. On the eve of the big performance, another incident occurred. When a different trainer approached her pool, Jessica splashed water violently and let out a loud, unsettling cry. It wasn't joy, it was a warning. Alea wondered if the upcoming show, the lights, the noise, the crowds, was overwhelming Jessica. Canceling was impossible. Tickets were sold, guests had arrived, and all eyes were waiting for the star dolphin. On the morning of the performance, Alea watched her closely. Jessica swam restlessly, circling the pool with sudden bursts of speed, then disappearing underwater for long stretches. There was a strange unease in her movements, as though she sensed what was to come. Alea whispered a silent prayer. "Please let today go well." What she didn't know was that this day would become the most shocking chapter of her life. A chapter written in betrayal, tragedy, and unanswered questions. The Dolphin Park was full of life that day, with visitors excitedly gathering for the show. Jessica, as always, was cheerful. She stood near the edge of the pool, waiting for her closest companion, Ballo. Ballo was no ordinary dolphin. She was intelligent, playful, and had been with Jessica since her early years. To Jessica, Ballo was more than just an animal. She was family. From childhood to adulthood, Jessica had cared for her, training her, feeding her, tending to her when she was sick, and fulfilling her every need. Every time Ballo leapt high into the air during a show, splashing water with her tail, Jessica's heart swelled with pride and love. But that day was different. Jessica noticed something unusual in Ballo's eyes. Normally, Ballo would greet her with joyful squeaks and playful jumps. Today, she was silent, circling slowly in the water. "What's wrong, Ballo?" Jessica called gently. Ballo swam closer, but her demeanor was tense. Jessica reached out, as she always did, to tap her gently on the nose. But suddenly Ballo shook her head violently, splashed water, and backed away.